All right, gonna make a video on all the mods I've done to date. It's February 2026. This is a 2025 AT4 1500 with a 6.2. Get a lot of questions about the wheels. They're Brink 20-inch wheels, zero offset, so they got a little bit of poke. Not too bad, but pretty nice stance for what I was looking for. I did put the Bilstein 6112 shocks on the highest setting. I had originally gotten a Ready Lift leveling kit, the 1.75. Didn't use it, but I did use the upper control arms. And then afterwards, I ended up putting just the bottom spacer on. I don't know if you can see it. It's different than the 2-inch. Luckily, I was able to just take the tire off, take the bottom bolts out of the shock, put a pry bar in the springs and lift up that shock enough to be able to get that small spacer and the bolts, the nuts and bolts in. On the side that has the axle, I just was able to put the bolt up and put a nut on it. On the other side, I went down. I figured stock, they're both up, so it's not gonna hurt anything, and I didn't want to remove all that. All in all, it's probably raised it up about 1.75 inches, but I wanted those Bilstein shocks on the highest setting, so I got my covers on there. They do not overheat the brakes at all. I just wanted something a little subtle, just something different than the silver that they were. I was able, since I have a zero offset, I was able to install them. Just got under the truck, slipped them on and bolted them on, and done. Still have my mud flaps on. I did modify them. A lot of people don't like the looks of them. You don't see that cut up unless you're looking in my wheel well. So these are the GM paintable fender flares, since they don't offer the Thunderstorm Gray. I think I ordered 5 cans of Thunderstorm Gray from Touch Up Direct. Only used 3, and that was using up the last of the third one because it didn't really need it, but I didn't want to waste any. And then 2 cans of the Spray Max 2K Clear, the Glamour Clear. It came out pretty good. On the back, I put the bigger stock, the bigger after GM mud flaps on. And then the, I think they're like the 5160 Reservoir Bilstein shocks. I did put the RAS, the Road Active suspension on. They're not supposed to fit with a 2025, but I've posted it before. I don't see where it's supposed to hit anything. Been running them for a while, except for a little rust. I don't see any issues with putting these on a 2025. Some of the other stuff I've done, I blacked out. These are the GM ones because I saw the reviews that the aftermarket ones blow off. I had my points for buying the truck, so I put the GM ones on to black them out. Amazon short antenna. I put the tinted LED lights in so it doesn't have that big chrome mirror. I got the night black overlay, which I have a video on. I did put a couple zip ties. I can't even remember where I put them. There's a spot where you can put them where you can't even see them. Didn't need them, but I figured just for insurance I'd put them on. Same thing, overlay for the GMC, it just sticks on. Overlay for the AT4. The back has an overlay. I got the Retrax retractable. I've had these on multiple trucks. I love them. They're nice. Got the GM OEM netting, which works amazing. I did put some of the eBay tie downs in. Since I have the Retrax, it kind of blocks a little bit of the factory tie down. So I got the 6 more, 3 on each side. Obviously with a cover, they don't get any rain, so they don't rust or nothing. So the cheaper eBay or Amazon knockoffs work just as good for what I need them for. I also just put these knockoff 1500. They're the 3525 HD AT4 clone lights. So far I'm liking them. I've only had them on for a couple days. I've also got the Boost Auto rear light in reverse upgrade, where it turns your bed cargo lights on, your tailgate light, and I also have a Morimoto license plate light bar, which is more than enough. I have some diode dynamic LED for the license plates. I got the Gibson bolt-on tips, which I'm not a fan of. They didn't fit well. I had to modify them quite a few times to get them to where I wanted them. Etsy cover. I'm gonna put all the lights on. Yeah, they're gonna work during the day. So you can see the reverse lights. You can see 1 year. I got them February last year, and there's a couple LEDs out. Nice and bright. You see the, I'm not sure if you can see the cargo lights on or not. That's the Boost Auto harness that turns all those on. I also did the Venom Trucks fog light mod. Anytime you start the truck, the engine's running, the fog lights are on. Daytime running lights are on, low beams are on. You don't have to hit the button. High beams, they stay on, they don't turn off. The downside is that they don't turn off. You have to turn the truck off or unplug them. So if you're going to see some Christmas lights and they don't allow any lighting, you got to unplug them before you go. But other than that, I just love the looks of riding around, having them on with the daytime running lights. I also have the Boost Auto all lights on, so my low beams stay on with my highs. So when I put my highs on, my fogs are on, my highs are on, my lows are on, and I've got the harness from Boost Auto where these lights come on and stay on. So all of that lights up with high beams only. I got my Blackview dash cam. Really easy to install. Really nice 4K quality. It's also in the back window. Super simple to install. Just the wires aren't hard to tuck. They just plug in here, no problem. I got the larger Duha storage bin, which is a must for me. I got the BMW hitch for the 1500s with the tailgate that does the multi-pro. You got to make sure you get the one with the set screw, because these actually slide over your hitch. That's why the tailgate doesn't hit them, because they slide in further than the standard ones. So you got a 1500, you're looking for a hitch, make sure you get the one with a set screw. Otherwise, you probably have the wrong one for the 1500s. I'm gonna pop the hood real quick. I think that's the last of the mods that I've done that I can think of. Oh, I do have my car bike. Turns off the auto start stop. Once you get over 40 miles an hour, it turns the DFM off. I usually just put the truck in manual and shift it up to ninth gear. That way I don't have to hear anything else with my exhaust with the DFM kicking in on under 40 miles an hour. I got the cold air induction, cold air intake. It's like an aluminum. It's not plastic. Nice quality. I had it on my 21 6.2 Tahoe. Kept it when I traded. Thought if I ever got another 6.2, maybe it'll fit. It fits the GMCs. Same thing with the catch can. That was on my 21 Tahoe. It fits exactly the same on my 6.2 and my 25 GMC. I don't really see any benefits. There's no sound, maybe a little better acceleration, maybe, but other than that, no gains. I already had it, so I stuck them on here. Other than that, I would never have bought it again for this truck after having it on the Tahoe, because it didn't make any difference on that either. I do get asked about the MRT exhaust valve eliminator that I have on the active exhaust. People ask, where do you plug it in? Sorry, I'm breathing hard. I'm old, disabled, fat. So here's your stock wiring. That's where it plugs in. This normally plugs into this valve that opens up the exhaust. So you got to buy the 2-part kit. Get this one, and then there's a cap that goes in here. Buy the cap so you don't have that open and all the valve filling full of dirt and stuff. But what happens is when you have that valve, make sure you have it open in sport mode before you install this. But stock, this valve only opens up about 3/4 of the way. You can get a dealer tune where they'll open it the rest of the way if you want to pay the money. Or you put this like $50 eliminator on, and what happens is while you're driving, the pressure forces it open from the 75 to 100%. It makes it that much louder when you start it. It's not aftermarket exhaust loud, but for a factory exhaust, it's pretty loud. And the best part is, if you ever go somewhere where you want it quiet, you unplug this, take the cap off, plug it back in to the valve, and you can put it back in normal mode and it's quiet again. You can't do that with aftermarket unless you put the whole exhaust on. Also with these, I think most aftermarket exhausts come with them, but you need one of these so you don't get a code if you do replace the factory exhaust, if you have the active exhaust. So chances are if you buy a kit, it'll come with one of these. I think AWE, and I'm not sure what else does, but I think that's all the mods I have to date. Hopefully I answered everything. I got the RAS set on the light setting, not the heavy. When I put my kayak in, I used to get a little bit of a dip. When I put all my camping stuff, my tent camping stuff in, I got a lot of it. I used to get a dip when I'd travel. And I got a small trailer that I haul my golf cart in, but with that in, just with a light setting, you don't feel, it doesn't slouch at all. It does raise the back end up about 1 inch, but I like the way the rake was, so it didn't bother me. I think that's it. I do have the puddle lights. I tried the GMC ones, I liked them, but then they came out with these ones for the AT4. This is my 3rd set. The 3rd set's working great, where it shines AT4 in white and red. I love them. I get a lot of compliments on them. It's probably one of the, besides the wheels and tires, one of the things I get complimented the most at night when I'm out driving, parking. People see it and they're like, wow, that looks nice. So that's it. I think I covered everything. Any other questions? Let me know. Maybe I'll make another video.